Welcome back to Celebrity Sweat. I'm Eric the Trainer, and what a special treat today. We're here with the Bella twins. They're the women of Celebrity Sweat. Now, I know a lot of you out there are wondering how they can look so beautiful. What do they eat? How much do they sleep? What kind of exercise do they do? Maybe we can get some answers today. What do you say?
Well, one thing I really like to do is I really like to eat my grilled chicken and my steamed veggies. I make sure I get that stuff in a few times a day. Protein is just really good, especially after workouts. And I'm all about yoga and Pilates, but when I'm in a gym, I'm all about strengthening my core.
Something that Nicole and I really like to do is to make sure every day there's something active that we're doing, whether it's power walking, going to yoga class, or even going into the gym 30 minutes. Every day we like to do something, and hey, we do like our desserts, so ladies, you don't have to cut it all out. We do like every Sunday or every Wednesday night is kind of our cupcake brownie night. So.
And don't forget, we also do a gallon of water every day. Water is very important.
Fantastic. And with their busy schedule, as you can imagine, sleep and proper rest might be a challenge. Let's find out how they sleep, how long they sleep, and how they get proper rest.
Yes. I always try to get 8 hours every night. When I'm not rested, I feel bloated and I'm tired, but when I get that 8 hours, sometimes 6, I'm ready to go.
That's right. I'm exactly like Nicole. And one thing too is when you don't have that much sleep and you feel really deprived, there's nothing like a nap. Even if it's 30 minutes, it really makes you feel better, and then you feel like, hey, I can go work out, go do something instead of, being sluggish the rest of the night.
Up next, we're going to work out with these two and check out their fitness secrets. You're not going to want to miss it. Come on, let's go.
Well, that got everybody's attention. When you start off your interview with the Bella twins, everybody's like, hey, what's going on? And I got to tell you something. You were one of the most fascinating, positive forces in the United States and throughout the world right now. Eric the Trainer.
Woo-hoo! Hey, man, thank you so much.
I'm very excited. This is our second interview. And I'm glad that we got to know each other, because I think every time you do one of these things and you know each other a little bit better, the interviews really come out great, and we can help a lot more people that way. Now, you are teaming up with a bunch of rockers to raise awareness and to make sure that people who need food get food during the quarantine and COVID-19 situation. Let's start off by telling everybody about what you're up to in this drive to get food to people.
Well, we all live here in Los Angeles. There are a lot of rock stars and a lot of famous actors that live in and around Los Angeles. And all of us watch the national news each night, and we see those long lines at the food banks. It really breaks our heart, because this COVID time, this disease has really hit a lot of people very, very hard. They find themselves in situations they could have never imagined themselves in, literally needing to go to food banks to feed their families. And so when we see those long lines on the news, it kills us. And a lot of the artists in this town want to know what they can do to help besides donating money. And so I actually called a bunch of my celebrity clients. These guys are great musicians. They joined me in the studio and we recorded some music. We're giving 100% of the proceeds of the first single, I'm Yours, to charity, to Feeding America, which is one of our favorite charities. They restock those food banks. And I'll tell you, man, it was an adventure. I grew up on a farm in Maine. I now live in Hollywood, and I'm living my dream, because all of my favorite musicians, from Nickelback and Air Supply and Lifehouse and Journey, I'm now recording music with them for a good cause.
And I got to tell you, I was amazed when you sang I'm Yours the last time we had you here, and you got your guitar, so you're prepared to do it again. We'll get to that a little bit later. But first, we got to go over your rock and roll resume, because you really have accomplished a lot as Eric the Trainer. And then you have Morning Glory Alive, and it's on amp. It's so many different places. Instead of me trying to even attempt to remember your credentials, why don't you just give us a rundown? I'll get everybody the website, morningglorylive.com. I guess that's where you were working with the Bella twins, I suppose. I don't know.
Actually, the shot that you saw of me with the Bella twins was from a TV show that I've hosted for the past 6 years called Celebrity Sweat. It's it's a behind the scenes look at athletes and celebrities and their lifestyles. Our job is to motivate and inspire people to live great lives. Hey, I see that you spelled Maine without the E, because this is like the state of Maine. We need M-A-I-N-E.
Oh.
State of Maine, baby.
I misspelled. All right. Well,
yeah, man. Listen. I'm from the state of Maine, so I'm really into maple syrup.
I kind of should have remembered that.
No, it's okay.
I can fix that.
It's totally cool.
That's why you're Eric the Trainer. You're a coach. You notice these little faux pas of people.
Yeah, no problem.
Your form is wrong. Your spelling is off. So please spell me correctly.
We can all do better. No problem. But yeah, Morning Glory Live has been a lot of fun. That's the daily show that I host now. It's on Zoom, but there are people from around the world that work out together. We have celebrities that come on and share their stories with us while we're working out. It's almost like if Jack LaLanne was hosting the Tonight Show. We have a lot of fun, and we do it Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock in the morning LA time. But if you miss that time, or if you're at work, if there's a conflict, it's always available on replay. So check out morningglorylive.com. It's awesome.
And from what I saw, it's, correct me if I'm wrong, $47. Is that per month or something? What's the membership?
Yeah, it's like $47. It's not expensive at all.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, man. I mean, listen, I'm on a mission to change the world, to make it a better place, and I will not be stopped. My mentor was Jack LaLanne, one of the greatest fitness practitioners of all time, and he really instilled in me a need to help others, and that's what I'm here to do. Through music, through fitness, through some good jokes, anything you need, baby. Ow!
Well, I mean, yeah, the hat and the Bella twins. I mean, you know how to work the room. Now, when people go to morningglorylive.com and they sign up for these exercise classes, there's the potential that you'll meet people of all different walks of life and make some really cool friends. Because I think we all need some more friends in our lives. This way, especially during COVID-19, you might meet, somebody that you can relate to or help. Here's a big misunderstanding that people have. They figure if someone is well known, or they hear them on the radio all the time, or they see them in movies, that A, they're super rich, which oftentimes not the case. B, they have a lot of friends. I could tell you that there's, from SAG-AFTRA and my circles, there's a lot of us, not including myself. I'm really busy, but a lot of us could use some good friends. We need friends that aren't there to get something out of us. Just to,
Right.
The only thing that we need is love, right? And understanding and friendship. And, if we have friends and we see on our own that they could use some help that we can give, we'll do it. We don't even need to be asked. So
Yeah.
I think that just try to be friends with people, be honest friends, and treat everybody equally. So that's really exciting. I think I might actually try it. So can I, wait a minute, let me ask you, can I sit there and watch and maybe eat some healthy types of potato chips with
Hey, listen,
orange
man.
juice?
Potato chips are not the best for you, but there are alternatives. There's a company called Quest Nutrition that makes
Yeah, I
great.
use those, the protein ones. Yeah, I
They're
get them all
good,
the
man.
time.
Yeah.
Since we're on the subject and we're under quarantine, a lot of people are struggling with their weight because you don't realize when you don't go off to work and you're not going out doing things, you have a tendency to maybe not pay attention to what you're eating. So I've heard the quarantine 15, right, is on average. I know I went up in weight, and then when I started feeling my pants fitting tight, I'm like, oh man. So what I did, Eric, as opposed to maybe, now Snickers bars aren't the worst thing for you. If you get the smaller one, you have that like once a week, maybe that's a nice little treat.
Okay.
But Carvel, for instance, I get a small fat-free ice cream. That's a good alternative. But
Okay.
my new favorite thing is getting these Quest type of bars, especially with peanut butter. Can't get enough of that. So I go high protein, low carbs, right?
That's great.
Good. And the Quest chips, and you just have to develop a better strategy and if you're going to munch on anything, get high protein cereal, right?
Right.
Just have some of that. So,
And Zach, it just was released literally last week. Quest just came out with a high protein, low sugar, low carb peanut butter cup. That is unbelievable.
Oh my gosh, you got to be kidding me.
I'm dead serious.
You know what always makes me laugh when someone will take fat-free Fig Newtons and throw some ice cream on there. Go to a fast food restaurant and order whatever with a Diet Coke.
Right.
Although I asked a Coca-Cola executive about that one time, Eric, and he goes, "It's just for the taste of it, man." I go, "Point taken." All right, so let's get back to the music. So you're on the mission to feed the hungry. It's a wonderful thing. I have seen some of the newsreels where people are waiting in cars and lines, and it's really, this whole situation is so disruptive. And we'll talk about suicide prevention and give you that number a little later on. Let's get back to what you're doing. You created basically what is a supergroup, Maine Monster. So tell us who is in the lineup for Maine Monster.
Well, I'll tell you, I called guys that I really trust and that I have a great relationship with. So I called Mike from Nickelback to play bass. He's literally one of my favorite bass players in modern music today. I called Aviv, who's the drummer from Air Supply. And I also called Yerg, formerly from A Lifehouse, to play guitar. The band is really powerful. It's really good. And I hope you guys enjoy the song. The song was literally written about my wife. We just got married. So she had been my girlfriend / fiance, and now she's my wife. And the song is called I'm Yours, meaning, hey, look, I am yours no matter what happens in my life, for better, for worse, in sickness and health. I am yours. And so there's a lot of joy there. She's my muse. We really are very proud of the song. I hope you guys enjoy it.
It's a great song, and in just a little bit, we're going to get you to play it for us. I want to talk about Mike a little bit, who is supposed to be with us today, Mike Kroger.
Right.
And I said, well, all right, it's fine that he skips out on us like that, and he's a flat lever and all of those different things, but that doesn't mean we're not going to make fun of him. So, what is that? Like if Mike was on right now and you said that one thing about Mike that he might want to jump through the screen and maybe strangle you, what is it about Mike?
Mike is, I know Mike very, very well. He and I met originally because he came on to my show, my TV show, Celebrity Sweat, as a guest. We were backstage with Nickelback in Chicago. They were playing a big show, and he appeared on my show, and we had a great time. Then he moved to Los Angeles. Nickelback is a Canadian band.
Canadian band, right.
But Mike and his family moved to Los Angeles. He started working out at my gym. I have a gym here in Hollywood. And we became really, really good friends. We started spending time together, not only as trainer and client, but also as friends. And we have the best time together. He's a great guy. He's got great musical sense, an awesome sense of humor. He's a terrific martial artist. I think the one thing that people don't know about,
now we can't make fun of him because he's a martial artist. Come on.
Yeah, he's such a great guy. But you know what? He and I are up for anything. Anytime he calls me for anything, I always say yes, and vice versa. So when I called him and said, hey, man, I really think it's important for us as artists and as leaders of this community to go into the hospitals and serve food to doctors, and nurses, and health practitioners. I had called a few actors, but I also called Mike. He said, I'm with you. And so we all went in as united artists, and we served those that serve us during this crazy time. That went really, really well. And then of course, Nickelback, they were the headliners of a huge concert that I organized called the Mother's Day Need to Feed Spectacular. And so Nickelback was the headlining act of that concert, which raised enough money in one day to feed 270,000 needy families.
That's awesome. And I have to tell you this, I'm a big time Nickelback fan.
Uh-huh.
And you know that when you say that you're a Nickelback fan, a lot of people make fun of you. I don't understand that. It's like, there's a thing about Nickelback and being a fan of Nickelback. And I say to people, well, it's better than being a super fan of Foreigner.
I actually like Foreigner too. Hey, listen,
yeah, I know that, but I wouldn't be the president of the International Foreigner Fan Club. I would be the president of the International Nickelback Club. That song Rockstar, my favorite.
I love Rockstar. And it's funny, you go to a Nickelback show, it's sold out. The arenas, the stadiums, they're always sold out. The audience sings along with them. They might have the perception of being a hated band, but they're not. They are awesome. It's a contradiction.
There is one song, is it Found You Out or something like that, where he gets caught by the girl's dad.
Right.
I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that happening to me. I can relate to that. And then Photograph is another fantastic song. Now, all of a sudden, you're playing your guitar. You met the guy who is the editor of Guitar World magazine, right, in New York City.
Yeah, I was working as a trainer in New York City. I met the guy who is the editor-in-chief of Guitar World magazine back then. His name is Brad Talinsky. He's a very smart, really great guy, amazing musician. And he and I set up a barter where I would train him and get him into the best shape of his life. And he would teach me how to play guitar so girls would notice. And man, it worked out. It was so cool.
That's a good one. And that's why, a lot of guys get in the radio for beer and, so there you are. You learn how to play guitar very well. You play it very well.
Oh, thank you.
You're sitting on the couch one day in your underwears, boxer shorts.
Yep.
And then this song comes to mind, and you're going to play it right now. It's called I'm Yours. It's the acoustic version. The mix is fantastic. It features Maine Monster Supergroup. But now Eric is going to do his solo right now. Por Vor.
Awesome, dude. I made a fortune in LA. I'm on the television night and day. And lo, behold, I'm yours, I'm yours. I bought a house that ain't a home. I've got a teenage girlfriend, she's all grown. And lo, behold, I'm yours, I'm yours. But she could never learn to love LA. She would never, she would rather dance all night and play alone. She will never know, and I should let her go. But her radio stays on all night. Her radio stays on all night. I've got a dog that barks all night. I've got a friend that all we do is fight. And lo, behold, I'm yours, I'm yours. Ow, ow.
That is fantastic. Now, who's the friend that you fight with all night?
Listen, I've got some great friends from back in Maine, and they call me and they're like, "You live in California? Do you fall into crevices during the earthquakes?
Oh, yeah.
You get shot in Compton?" And I'm like, "It's not like that. It's actually a beautiful place to live." So we do argue sometimes, but it's all about perspective, my friend.
It's not like you're living in Newark. And if anybody was wondering what Newark is like, it's like LAX without the palm trees. You know
Nice.
that's true too. Now that was written for your wife. You mentioned her a couple times. You've been with her. She's your sweetheart, but you never said her name. So what's her name?
Her name is Alicia.
Oh, that's a pretty name.
Yeah.
Alicia, isn't that like Elise and Eleanor, like that same sort of group of names? Yeah, that's cool.
It is.
My mom's name was Eleanor.
She's an amazing person. She's my muse. She's Japanese. So I'll tell you, she's my favorite.
Good for you. Well done. How did you meet her?
You know, I met her in the bank. She's quite short, and I was waiting in the bank years ago in line with some checks from some clients, and I noticed there was a big space between where I was standing and who the guy standing in front of me. So I stepped forward and almost stepped on her. That's how we met.
Huh. Well, listen, I met my wife who is 4'11". She kills me when I say 4'9". 4'9", because I go, can't you get some sort of special checks for being 4'9"? She's 4'11", 4'10". How tall is mommy, Soph?
4'10", but
4'10".
4'11".
She used to be 4'11", but she shrunk when she had Sophie. So, one day we're at 1180 6th Avenue. It's right over by Fox. Fox is across the street. You've probably seen Fox and Friends, you know, that whole set.
Yeah.
And we're right down the street from Radio City Music Hall. And I'm hanging out with Scott Meany, a legendary disc jockey. We're standing out in front, and she comes down. She's all upset. She's really cute, right? She's all upset. And I go, what's the matter with you? She goes, I just spilled coffee all over George Young, the general manager of the New York Giants. I go, well, I'm glad you did, because the team sucks. So go up and pour another pot on him. Tell him it's from me. And I guess, you know, every time she saw me, I was like, you know, like cantankerous, right? I'm like, well, I'm glad you did. So finally got the courage to ask her out. And we've been together ever since, 21 years.
Woohoo!
And I'm 15 years older than she is. So
that is awesome, man.
Totally awesome. Yeah, it's definitely the way to go. So yeah, those stories are always nice. And the thing that you were able to do is write your lady a song. Guys, I hope you're taking notes. It's for a good cause, to help people that need food badly. We've seen the lines. The food banks are problematic in that under quarantine conditions, services are really scaled back. You don't have the people to actually man the food banks in many cases. It overwhelms the system. And then people are furloughed and, you know, laid off from work. It's really a bad deal. And a lot of people are having a hard time struggling right now. And that's why we make sure that on every episode we do, we give you the number for suicide prevention, which is, I I got it over here for you. You think I would have it somewhere where you can find it easily. It's 800-273-8255, 800-273-8255. You can write it down. Now, you could put it in your speed dial, right? I notice a lot of people these days, because of the smartphones are smarter than we are all of a sudden. They tell us everything we need to know, and therefore you can't remember numbers too easily like you used to. I got a question for you. Do you still remember the phone number of your house growing up?
I sure do, because my parents still live there. And when I go to visit them, of course, I stay in my old room. It's pretty weird, though. You wake up, I live in Los Angeles now. I'm an adult. But after being in Maine for a couple days, sleeping in my old bed, in my old room, I wake up in the morning, I look around and I think, did I ever leave? This is crazy.
Well, I could see that. I remember my home first phone number when I was a little kid. Still remember it. I don't think anybody has the number. So let me just go 787-1460. I won't give you the area code. So if you want to go play around with area codes and make prank calls, Prince in the can and all of that stuff, knock yourself out, which it's really hard to do prank calls nowadays because you got caller ID.
Right.
It's unfortunate. I used to do that to my dad all the time. I would call Andy Rooney and threaten to drop my insurance. He was an insurance agent. He would go crazy, all kinds of crazy stuff. So those days are gone. Now, we talked a little bit about your resume, and I'm going down the list. So why don't you just give us a quick overview of Eric, the trainer, and the various places people can find you. I'm looking at this Amazon. You're over here, you're over there, this TV show, that TV show. So just let us know, because you have to. People have to see you. I'm just saying, like, your videos are a lot of fun. You bring a lot of energy. You bring a lot of happiness to people, and you always got a smile on your face. And the Bella Twins. So
awesome, man. Well, the easiest way to find me is on social media. If you go to Eric the Trainer on Instagram, on Twitter, at Facebook, you can easily find me, or you can watch my show, Celebrity Sweat, on Amazon Prime. It's a great show. Or you can go to all the streaming platforms and look for Maine Monster, Maine like the state of Maine Monster. Download our first single, I'm Yours. It's fantastic. And then in about a month, we're releasing another song called Girl Like You with Arnell from Journey singing on the chorus.
Oh, wow.
It's incredible.
He has got a great voice. And boy, they couldn't find a better person to replace Steve Perry in the lineup of Journey. It's like, it's like having that great quarterback. And oh man, how are we going to replace this guy? He's Tom Brady. He's Eli Manning, the great Eli Manning. How are you gonna do that? And then, man, you get a guy who steps right in there, and it's Joe Montana all over again. And that's fantastic. What else do you want to tell us, Eric the Trainer? Maybe that one pearl that you'd like to share with somebody who might, not be having it so easy now, or perhaps a person struggling with weight. That really, when people struggle with weight, I can tell you firsthand, that really is depressing, because you feel horrible about yourself, and then you go up and down, and it could be an addiction. It's really tough to really get on the right path there. So maybe a couple of tips that help somebody out.
Well, this is my tip to your listeners and your viewers. If you want to go through a physical transformation, the kind of transformation where people that know you well say, oh my goodness, what happened? There needs to be 3 things that happen. We need the right exercise, the right diet, and the right sleep. From an exercise standpoint, my suggestion to you is to wake up in the morning, use the restroom, and immediately go out and start moving your body. You can go for a workout. You can go for a walk. There's nothing wrong with walking every single morning before breakfast. As a matter of fact, the consistency of walking every morning for a week will do amazing things, not only to your weight, for your weight loss, but also to your overall metabolism and circulation. Realize that, walking in the morning, first thing, from probably between 15 and 35 minutes, it's a game changer, because it makes everything sort of kick in. Then come back, take a shower, have a healthy breakfast. You're way ahead of the day, and everyone else is just rolling out. So consistent exercise on a regular basis. That's number 1. Number 2, diet. There is no rule that says just because we're stuck at home or just because we're in a crazy time, we have to eat bad food. I'm hoping that you'll eat animal-based lean protein sources like egg whites, chicken, turkey, fish. Those are all great in their natural form, plus water-based carbohydrates. Fresh fruits and vegetables are terrific for you. The darker the color, the better, because they're higher in antioxidants, but also have a healthy fat once in a while. Olive oil, raw nuts, those are all great. Avocado is terrific. And drink lots of water. So exercise, diet, and most importantly, sleep. I know a lot of people have been kind of stressed out during this time, and they find that they're staying up very late. But ironically, sleep is the only time the body can change. The sleep is to the body almost what like an oven is to cookie dough. It's when the transformation occurs. You have a bunch of cookie dough, you can't serve it to little kids. Then you put it in the oven, it sits there for a while. Boom! We have a crunchy treat for them that they'll love. So realize that you can exercise with a great trainer. You can eat the right foods, but you will not change unless you sleep. That's when the transformation occurs.
Okay. As you get older, it seems that you need less sleep. I go to bed relatively early. I'm in maybe 9:30, 10-ish. Okay. That's about as late as I'll go. I'll get to sleep. Like today, I woke up at 3 a.m. I could not get back to sleep. I wasn't tired. So I got up and started my day because I got a lot of stuff to do too.
Wow.
But what if you're like the type of person that generally gets along on 3 to 4 hours of sleep a day? I mean, I know it's supposed to be 8, but God, I don't even know the last time I've been able to do that. Sometimes with me, I will take a little bit of a nap. Like when I'll sit on the couch later on, I might doze off a little bit, but that's about it. So is that good, bad, or how would you manage that if you were me?
I would say it's neither good or bad. What it probably means is that your body is not being asked to change. So as we all get older, our bodies naturally stop changing on their own. So we would require less sleep. However, what I'm suggesting to you and your viewers is that you guys institute a brand new exercise program. And so if you're waking up in the morning and going for a brisk walk or grabbing a workout or doing jumping jacks like Jack LaLanne used to do, if you're exercising first thing in the day in a vigorous way, 6 days a week, 7 days a week, because I want you to do something every day just to perspire a little bit, you will find that you'll sleep more because you're commanding your body to change. The body can only fulfill that wish through sleep.
Okay, let me throw this one at you, Eric, the trainer. What if your work requires you to do things very early in the morning, right? So that you would do your exercises after you're done with your shift. Is that fine? Is it more important to make sure you do it first thing, or as long as you make the commitment to do it?
I say the commitment to do it is the most important thing. The reason we suggest as fitness professionals that you do it before work is because after work, many times you're very tired and you might want to relax. But the other thing is when someone exercises in the right way, those natural endorphins in your mind are released and it makes you feel good and it makes you feel energized. We don't want you to feel energized if you're supposed to go to sleep right afterwards. So it makes sense just logically that you'd wake up in the morning or you'd wake up midday if you have a night shift, and you'd exercise then, get those endorphins rocking and rolling, have some healthy food, go to work, do your shift, come home and relax.
Okay, coffee, good or bad for you?
Coffee is great as long as you have it black like the night.
That's what I do, man. Yeah. One time a doctor, he goes, how much coffee do you drink? I go, a whole lot of coffee. It's one thing I refuse to give up. All right. So good. And then as people start on this fitness journey, one very important thing that I'm going to suggest is don't overdo it. Start slow, start small, start slow, and just work yourself up to that. Because when you do too much, guys have a habit of doing this kind of stuff. You do too much, you're going to be discouraged easily. You'll burn out fast, and you could be bad for your health. So you got to be very careful with that.
It's true. A lot of people jump into an exercise program with great intensity and they don't realize that injury is possible. So instead of hurting yourself, start slowly, do it consistently, and you will look and feel your best.
All right. Look out for Maine Monster. Go to ericthetrainer.com, and it's Maine Monster like the state of Maine. Great supergroup. Check out the song I'm Yours. He's got another one called A Girl Like You.
Girl Like You.
Girl Like You. So that, yeah, my memories, it's the omega fatty acids are finally kicking in. And check out. I mean, I think I might do this. Let me see. Let me get the thing at 10 o'clock in the morning, your time, which should be, wait a minute, hold on. It's what time is it by you? 10 a.m.?
It'll be 10 a.m. by me, so it'll be 1 o'clock
1
by
o'clock.
you.
You know what? That's not bad for me. See, this works actually pretty well. You'll be amazed. When I decide that I want to go to sleep, I go to sleep. That's the way it is. Okay, so check out. No, that's the wrong guy. Like I got the wrong. Well, you know, the Loyal Order is a good band. Just so you know, I'm trying to find them. There we go. morningglorylive.com. $47. I mean, is that per month? Is that what it is?
Yeah, per month.
All right, that's great. That's a good deal. I mean, that is still cheaper than any of the expensive gyms in New York City. And you get to meet some really cool people, and you never know who's going to be part of it. And, you know, now, can everybody see everybody on this thing?
Yes, actually, it's on Zoom. So we really have a real community, and the sense of community during these times, it really helps you get through everything. It's a terrific program. I hope you guys enjoy it.
Well, I'm going to check it out. I'll be very interesting in the group. You know, I'm the class clown, but I will try. So,
awesome,
and then do I have to wear anything specifically? Like I should probably put clothes on during this.
You know, some people wear minimal clothes and they just keep their cameras off.
Yeah.
We have a ton of people that have their cameras on. We can all see each other and interact with each other. Because remember, with Zoom, I can see you and you can see me. So it's kind of cool. And then we have a bunch of people that are kind of shy. So they take part in the class and they can see you, but they keep their cameras off. Whatever you want is totally fine.
All right, that's cool. I'm kidding around about that. Of course, I'll be appropriately dressed. Well, thank you, Eric the trainer. You're a lot of fun. Here's what we're going to do. Next time, we'll for a girl like you, we'll do this again. We'll have an update, see how everything is going. We'll check in on each other, and we'll make sure that Mike gets on the next. Mike or Mark? Mike,
yeah.
Mike, yeah. We'll make sure that Mike gets in on the next one, because you tell Mike, Zach is in New York City, and the crap that he takes for being a Nickelback fan, right? I mean, come on, man.
They're an amazing band. Anyone that doesn't
show
like
up
them is nuts.
Absolutely nuts. Thank you so much, man. You take care of yourself.
Awesome. Take care, man. Thanks again.
See you in class.
Woohoo!